And you know the sweet thing about New Zealand? Do you
Tell
know you can
me.
do you know you can become a permanent resident from your country?
Hello, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your girl, Nurse Momo. Today, I have with me a very lovely sister who is here to share her knowledge and also experience on how to move to New Zealand as a nurse. Welcome, Nurse. You kindly introduce yourself to my viewers.
So hi everyone, thank you so much Nurse Momo for having me on your channel. My name is Deo Goodness. I am from Nigeria and I am a registered nurse currently practicing here in the UK. I am a registered nurse in New Zealand, in Australia, and of course in Nigeria. I have to be proud of my country. And so like as Nurse Momo has said, we'll be talking all things New Zealand registration. I'm also a YouTuber as well, so you might want to check out my channel, Nurse Deo. Okay, over to you.
It's a pleasure hosting you, actually.
Thank you.
Okay, nice deal. We are just going to go straight into today's video. Can you share
Mhm.
with us the reason why you decided to move to New Zealand?
Okay, so I'm not in New Zealand right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I decided to register as a nurse in New Zealand was because I needed to get my license in Australia. And I realized that the process from New Zealand is quicker, is cheaper, and is easier than going directly to register with Australia, because Australia and New Zealand, they have a transmission agreement that if you are a nurse in Australia, you can practice in New Zealand. If you're a nurse in New Zealand, you
Oh,
can practice
really?
in Australia. Yeah. So that's why
I
I
need.
decided to go through the New Zealand route. So yeah, that's why.
Okay, that's good. Can you
Yeah.
take us through the process on how one can become a nurse in New Zealand?
Yeah, of course. So you need to make sure you meet the requirements, which I'm going to be listing now. So the first thing is your identity document. You need a passport. That's the basic one they accept. You need an international passport that is in date. And the next thing you need is your qualification. Of course, you have to be a registered nurse in your
Yeah.
home country. You need a practicing license, an active one. So if your license expired is not in date, you need to make sure it's in date. So
Yeah.
that's number two. The next thing you need is your qualification. So you need to have a Bachelor of Science in Nursing for you to register with New Zealand. And you need to have your English language proficiency test. So they do accept OET and they do accept ielts. So for
Okay.
the score with New Zealand is similar to the score UK accepts. So they accept for ielts academic. They accept 777 in listening, reading, and speaking. And then if you have 6.5 as a minimum in your writing, they will accept that. And for OET,
Okay.
is the same BBB in listening, reading, and speaking. Then they accept a C plus in writing. So those are the English language requirement they need. If you don't get it at one sitting, that's absolutely fine. They accept clubbing, but it needs to be
Oh, that's
within.
nice.
Yeah, they accept clubbing as well, just like the UK. So it's similar to the UK
Similar to UK.
requirement. They can combine two results, but they must still meet the requirement at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Then you need to meet their police clearance. So they do have a police clearance where they check all the countries you've been and
Yeah.
make sure that you are clear of all the countries you've been. If you've lived in a country for more than 6 months, you have to do a police clearance in each country. So even if you go for vacation, that's fine. You don't have to do it in that country. As long as you lived in that country for more than 6 months, you need a police clearance. And you also
Okay.
need a fitness to practice. So I don't know for you people, but we have what we call RCN. So I was able to get that from them. So just like fitness to practice. And then every country you have a license, you need to get
Yeah.
the country to send them a verification to say that
Nation.
you are a registered nurse, you have
Nurse.
like good standing certificate as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I had my license here in the UK and in Nigeria. So both of them need to send my
Okay.
verification and good standing to CGFNS. So after you meet so these are the basic requirements. Yeah, this I think
Requirement.
just five. Yeah, that's it. And the next thing you need to do is to register with CGFNS. So
Okay.
CGFNS, well, everybody knows CGFNS, but
Yeah.
the CGFNS with New Zealand is different from the one with USA. Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
USA CGFNS is different. So make sure you are sure that it's New Zealand CGFNS you are registering with.
Can you
You
give us a
register.
clue? They can know that is the right one.
Also, it says New Zealand CGFNS. I
Okay.
have a video on my channel. The link is there as well, so you can check that out. But it's
I'll
if you
post
go
that on my
on Google,
video.
yeah, if you go on Google, just put in CGFNS New Zealand, you get it.
Yeah.
I think there are just two CGFNS, the one that US use and all that, and then this one is basically for New Zealand only, so no other country uses. So you definitely know that's what you want. So yeah, so you register, go online, create your profile, normal, put in your data and all that. You pay the registration fee. I think it's like $350 US, 350 or 400, about that figure. You pay the fee, get your document, then you start uploading. There are some you upload, and there are some you need to send them directly to them. So like my transcripts, so we need to send our transcript from our university. My transcript was sent directly to CGFNS by post by my school. Okay, so I don't have. So when you create your profile, you are going to be able to download these PDF files. Okay. So when you download these PDF files, you have to fill the PDF files yourself and send it to your school. So you have to authorize your school to say, I authorize you to send my transcript to CGFNS New Zealand by post. So you have to sign and send to your school. Whatever your school requires from you is totally up to your school. Like my school, I had to pay for it. So I don't know if it's the same in your country or whatever country you're watching me from. That's your school's fee. You have to pay them to send it, and also pay for the post. Some of them will collect extra money for post, so they'll send it to CGFNS. You have a candidate ID number, so that shows that it's coming from you. It will be on your document. Transcript, your qualification. You also have to do the same thing with your license body. You have to fill in the form and send to your nursing council in whichever country you've registered with. And they also fill in and send it to CGFNS. The only thing you upload to CGFNS on your portal is your identity document, which is your passport. So with the passport, you need to verify your passport. So what I did is I took my passport to my my solicitor. I have a solicitor here that helps me with most things like this. So they saw the original one. It's just like someone saying that I have seen this passport and I've seen Dayo. These two, they are the same. The passport here and Dayo is the same. Bam, they stamp on it and they are legal. So it's a legal document. So you need to meet. I prefer a solicitor. There are other people you can meet, but I prefer a solicitor because I know they trust them. So, but they have a list of people you can get to verify your documents. So I actually paid my solicitor. I forgot how much, but it wasn't up to £50. I think it's not that much. So they stamped it, and then I downloaded it and I uploaded it on my profile. I think that's the only thing I downloaded and sent. But the rest, since I had to send it, the companies, they have to send it. And for me, because I'm a registered nurse in UK, I am not required to do the English test again. Okay. So yeah. So if you have it, it's okay. You can use it. But if you're like, if you are in the UK, if you came to the UK 1 year ago, your English test should still be good.
Valid.
Because it expires after 2 years. I've been in the UK more than 2 years, so mine has already expired. But they said there's no need for me to write the test again because I'm a licensed nurse in the UK. So they accept licenses from Canada, US, Australia, of course, UK, Ireland, and I think Singapore as well. These countries, if you are registered nurse in these countries, you don't need to provide any English test again for them. Again. Yeah, so you have to just forget about that. Once they see your license from UK, they will automatically send you an email to say, hi, you qualify for a waiver. Click this link to waive your English test. So that will just, because when you create your profile, you see all the to-do lists. Okay. Anyone you upload, they accept it, they'll tick it. You'll not be seeing 50% gone, 75%. You see your progress. It's very, very transparent. You see the things that they've accepted already. So they'll automatically just take off your English language. And then you need a minimum of 2 years working experience within the last 5 years. So if you've left nursing for more than 5 years, I don't think you might still apply, but it's on their website that you must have it within the last 2 years. So they accept 2,500 hours, which will account to, if you're working full-time for 2 years, you will definitely meet that requirement to register. So your employer has to send employment reference as well, detailing all your roles as a registered nurse, all the things you've done, blah blah blah, the ward you worked, everything you do, your day-to-day life. And it needs to be a senior nurse or a manager. I use my manager to just be on the safe side anyway. They will have to stamp, and also it has to come with your hospital letterhead. Okay, so it's something very official that you need to send. And for me, my employer gave it to me. They were like, it's free, so they don't need to post it. They don't want to collect money from me to post it. They gave it to me and I had to just post it myself. So that's how I did mine. So you need 2 years experience. Once they receive all your documents, they will just put all documents receive 100%, and you have to wait for like minimum of 30 days to 2 months, I think 1 month or 2 months before they will verify all your documents. So they will now be like, hi, your document meets our requirement. And during your first registration, you tell them, they already know where you're sending it to, but you have to give them approval to send your documents to New Zealand Nursing Council. So this this one you are doing, you're not doing with Nursing Council of New Zealand. You are doing it with CGFNS. Okay. So before you finish your registration, they'll ask you, do you agree for your documents to be sent? You just need to sign a privacy policy. And once you sign that, they automatically just send your results to Significant Council of New Zealand. But before they will send you the raw copy to say, are you happy with this, our decision? So the two things there is, they will either say you meet the requirements of registering as a nurse in New Zealand, or they'll tell you you do not meet the requirements. Okay. So the only thing they will say is, if it meets the requirements, they will say, are you happy for me to send it over? If it doesn't meet the requirement, they will tell you what to provide again. Maybe if your hours are lagging behind, if you did part-time and you are not up to 2,500 hours, they'll tell you you do not meet the requirement now. Can you resend your recent experience? Or they'll tell you they'll just tell you where to continue from. And then CGFNS, when you say you're happy with your verification, your whole document process, they will not send it to Nursing and Midwifery Council of New Zealand. And New Zealand will send you an email after they received it from CGFNS to say, hi, we received your application from CGFNS. Click this link to start your application. So all you have to do now is to click the link they send to you via your email and pay your registration fee. It's not, it's more or less not like registration, but you have to open an account with Nursing and Midwifery Council, but you have to pay. I think it's about $465 about that, but around that figure. Then you have to pay that money. When you pay the money, your account will be opened, and they will just give you some. They'll tell you if it meets the. So because New Zealand has two cadre of nursing, they have enrolled nursing, they have registered nurses. So most of the time you need a BSc to become a registered nurse. And if you have a diploma, because some people have diploma, they'll put you under enrolled nurse. So then they will not tell you which of them it falls under, because they really need you to have a BSc to have your RN. But I don't know how true it is. It's on their website that that's what you need, because it needs to be a BSc. But some people have come up to say they were able to register with just their diploma. I don't know how true that is. That is not on their website. If you want to give it your own trial, give it. But the only thing I've seen in their website that I might think it's possible is if you have a postgraduate certificate. Like after, I don't know if it's the same with Ghana, but in Nigeria, when you finish your nursing, you can do midwifery as a post basic for 1 year. It's 1 year, 6 months. You can do psychiatry nursing for 2 years. So if you have those qualifications, they might combine it and make sure it meets a BSc level in New Zealand. So I think that's what might help. But don't quote me, it's on their website purely that you need a bachelor's degree. Okay, that's what's on their website. So that's what I would advise. But you can still try your luck. You never can tell. And then they will tell you to register. And after that, you now have to pay the ACP fee, which is the it's annual practicing certificate fee. I don't know how much that costs again, but I've forgotten. It's not much anyway. So you pay that and you get your license. So that's like the whole process of getting your license.
Whole process.
Yeah, so that's how you can get your license in New Zealand as a registered nurse.
Okay, so the only difference, if someone is from Africa or Asia, then they will now have to provide their English proficiency. That is their IELTS or the OET.
Yes.
In all
and
of
another
this.
thing I would like to add is, if you are from Africa, if you're not from these countries I mentioned that they give English waiver, there's a very high possibility that you would have to do what we call a CAP program. So it's called the CAP, Competency Assessment Program. But then that is depending on your transcript, because some people might have to do it, because if you're not from this country, according to your website, the majority of people not from this country would have to do it. But then it still stays on the website depending on your review. So if you have to do the CAP program is done strictly in New Zealand. It's about 6 weeks to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks. And for the fees, it depends on the school. But this whole registration is the same thing you have to do regardless of wherever you are coming from.
You are,
But when you have to do the CAP program is when they say oh, we've seen your whole documents, it doesn't meet the requirement, you have to do a CAP program to be able to register as a nurse. So it's the same process, because some people will be like, oh, how can I do it if I'm from Nigeria? It's the same thing, you have to do the same requirement. The only thing is, at the end of your whole assessment, they will tell you you have to do a CAP program. So they'll give you a go ahead to apply for a CAP program. You now have to search for schools. You have to search for schools that have CAP program. The thing is, the CAP program, they only have it about, when I was checking online, it was like 4 or 5 schools. There are not a lot of schools that have that CAP program, and it's only in New Zealand. Okay, so with that, it's going to be like our decision letter. You will have decision letter.
Yes.
So it's going to be like that. Hi, you can come into New Zealand to do your CAP program. Blah 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 blah. You can then use that to apply for a visa. Okay. So that visa will allow you to enter New Zealand to take that course. So it's like school, you're going back to school. Yeah. So you get your visa, do all your things together, but you have to apply to schools first before you go for your visa, of course. So when you get that competency assessment, you use that to apply for schools, because you cannot just apply for schools without having that. Okay, so you need that assessment from New Zealand. You look for schools. When I was checking for schools, the one I saw was like 8,000 plus New Zealand dollar. So that was like the fees I was saying for the CAP program. So the CAP program lasts for 6 to 8 weeks. I have also seen some agencies that would be like, if you have that assessment, they are willing to sponsor you for your CAP program. But they are not as plenty as the ones we have for UK agencies and all that. But I've seen some. So you just have to make more research, go online and search for the ones. Otherwise, if you can fund it, do it. It's definitely worth the whole process. And you can now apply for a visa, get your visa, go to New Zealand, complete your CAP program. 6 weeks, like less than 2 months anyways. Complete your CAP program and you get your license immediately. Within that CAP program, within your CAP program, you definitely get a job, because you're already there, right? Definitely get a job, and that will be your whole process.
That's very simple. Like, you really explained it very well, very vividly. And I'm really happy the way you went about the whole thing. Thank you so much. When it comes to looking for a job, how easy was it for you? You know,
me, I didn't apply for a job in New Zealand, but what I would say is, I don't think it's as easy as people in Africa, because you need to do the CAP, and then you are not in the countries where they waive this CAP for. It's quite difficult, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Okay, getting a job is, if you really want, you can go on Indeed. You see lots of job. LinkedIn, I see job offer a lot. There's also something called Kiwi Health Job. They have loads of openings for overseas nurses as well, but most of them will be like UK preferred. Sometimes they even come to UK to uproot all of us. They come and say, we have a job fair in London, please come and get job immediately. Well, like I said, comparing, it's not as easy back home compared to here, but you can still get it, because there are some that will say international nurses needed, and as long as they don't put the criteria like you must be a UK nurse, you must be an Ireland nurse, just apply. You never can tell. And aside that, if you can't get a job immediately, go for your CAP program. Once you are there, you get a job. They always need nurses. They're always short of nurses.
Okay. So I just wanted, when you mentioned the CAP program, is it like a study that you have to complete? Then at the end you have to take a final exams? Or
so it's like adaptation course you are doing, just
adaptation.
It's an adaptation course. You have to do exams there, but I don't think the exams will be out of what you are doing in that CAP program.
Okay. When you talk about the length in the process, how long did they take? Like 3 months? Will you be able to complete the process? Or
it all depends. It all depends on how quick you can get all your documents. Like I said, immediately CGFNS gets all your documents, it will take them less than 2 months, or let me say 1 month or 2 months to verify your document. And as long as you're happy with everything, it will take North Americans to 45 days to verify everything CGFNS has sent to them. So if you are really fast, within 4 months, you get your license. That's if you don't need a CAP. If you need a CAP, within that period, you should have your CAP invitation to come and do a CAP program in New Zealand. So within 4 months, 5 months, if you are very quick, you get all of those things
in place.
Okay.
Can you share a little bit when it comes to the payment structure?
I'm registered with them. I receive all their emails, their updates. Well, when it comes to payments, they pay in New Zealand dollars, so you need to check what that is in your currency. most of the offers I have seen or have received from UK recruiters coming to recruiters, they will be like, starting will be like I think from 45,000 New Zealand dollar to like 60,000 for newly qualified. They do consider your years of experience. So if you're, even if you're coming
That's
from
good.
Nigeria and you have 10 years of experience, they will never place you as a newly qualified nurse. So you need to check how that is. You can earn anything up to 100,000 New Zealand dollar, even more,
Wow.
with just your RN if you have a lot of experience. Yeah.
Oh, then that's good. At least you know that they are going to consider your years of experience.
Yeah, they do consider
It's not
years of
like the
experience.
UK that you start right
Yeah.
from the beginning. That's
Yeah.
good. Do you know anything when it comes to family reunification? Are you able to move in with your family
Yeah,
when you
of
are
course.
from
It's a
Africa, or
very
maybe when you're
you can, exactly, you can move with your family, everybody, you can move. And you know the sweet thing about New Zealand? Do you
tell
know you can
me?
be, do you know you can become a permanent resident from your country? Like if you meet all the requirements, you can apply straight for a permanent residency. You don't have to go with a work visa. I'm not sure for the cap, but I'm talking of myself because I'm here. I don't need
Okay.
cap. I already have my license. I can
Yeah.
apply for a permanent residency from here, and I'll
You
get
don't
it
mean
before
it.
I leave. So I know here in the UK we need to stay here for 5 years before we can get
Yes.
permanent resident. I think
Yeah.
you
I
same
think
as
in
well.
Ireland 2 years. Then after 2 years, you have to stay for a minimum of 60 months. Then you can now apply for citizenship.
You
You know.
yours is even better than our own. We have, hey, 2 years.
So 2 years, then you get your stamp four. So with your stamp four, you don't need to work with just one employer. You can work with any employer. You
Do you
can buy
know
your
we have
mortgage and all
five
that.
years?
Then after
Hey,
5 years,
I
you
always
just
tell people
apply
that
for
when
citizenship.
it comes to first world country, UK is the least. Is the least, both in payments, in
In
really.
everything,
So if I
yeah.
was in New Zealand, and so if I was in Ireland, I would become. By now, I would be a permanent. I would even have my citizenship because it's
If
for
you are
within
there for
4 years.
5 years, yes.
Yes, I've been here for going to 4 years. I should be. Anyways, yes, because it's so
Anyways,
annoying. Honestly, it's so annoying.
so any advice for our viewers?
Um, what I would advise is, if you have New Zealand in mind, just go for it. Personally, I've not been to the country, but I make so much research, and I feel like the country is worth giving it a try
Yeah.
because they are not so populated. Okay, the country is very scanty. It's very big and scanty, and not that big, but it's scanty when it comes to
Yeah.
the landmass and the people in it. What I've also seen or read online is that the nurse patient ratio is quite beautiful, okay, because they don't have
Wow.
so much people. So the few
People.
nurses are there are living la vida loca. They don't have so much patients. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I've read. And most of the time, things you read online, they're almost true because I've not seen any contrary opinion. Nurses that moved from the UK to New Zealand, they always say work-life balance is better, their annual leaves are better, like just the patients are nicer. That's what I've heard and read online. So if New Zealand is on your mind, go for it. If it's not in your mind, that's absolutely fine as well. But I would say give it a try, and I don't think anybody will regret going to New Zealand. And like I said, if you go to New Zealand and you don't like it, you can always move to Australia because it's almost similar. And you can always go back to your country if you don't like it.
If you don't like it. I really love the aspect that if you have a license in New Zealand, you can equally practice in
Yeah, you
Australia,
just
which is
have to
very
see.
good. So it's a very good news. Thank you so much for really honoring my invitation. It's actually been 2 weeks since I started trying to get Ms. Deal, and finally I have her here with
Thank
me.
you.
You are doing so well also on your channel. Please remember to follow Ms. Deal on her channel. She has all
Thank
the
you.
juiciest information. She does traveling, everything about UK now, everything about New Zealand as well. So please remember to go to her channel, click and also subscribe. Please remember to also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so.
Yeah.
Also remember to share this video with your friends as well.
Like
All
and
my nurses,
subscribe.
please like and
Comment
subscribe. It's
as
very,
well.
very
Leave us a
important.
comment.
Yes. Also follow me on TikTok. That's Nesmomo1. I recently joined TikTok and also Instagram. And I've also created a page on Facebook. I've
Oh,
been watching
good.
a video on her Facebook. So please follow me on Nesmomo on Facebook as well. Thank you so
Okay.
much. And then
Thank
please
you.
remember, as I always say, continue to share our videos. It's very important.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all and see you all on my next video. Bye.